Denzel Curry, how you doing today?
Good. What's happening?
Spectacular. Cool. So I really appreciate you doing this after absolutely lighting up and destroying First Avenue tonight. I watched the show from the balcony. I saw you turn that floor into a human popcorn machine. Absolutely tremendous. So is this your first time rocking in Minnesota? No, you've been here before. Is that one of them? Fuck.
Yes, this is my first time. Well, this is not my first time being in Minnesota.
Yeah.
I came here 4 years ago, actually, with the Underachievers, and we did First Avenue, and we did a little small room when Trash Talk was playing this room. We went to their show, and then they came to our show and wrecked house, and it was awesome.
Nice. Do you have a preference between this room and that room?
I like this room. I like both rooms, actually.
Oh.
It's the energy that matters.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the room size.
Cool. So recently the Nardwuar interview that you were in, which was absolutely fantastic. I'm a huge Nardwuar fan, as are you. So I'm just curious, I haven't had the chance to speak to someone who's been in the midst of an actual Nardwuar interview. What was that like? What was the vibe like? And then I'm curious, in the aftermath too, what's it like following when the cameras turn off?
He's actually funny. He's a funny dude. Very quirky, but he's very funny. Well, he was a cool dude nonetheless, though. We talked about a lot of things, and he really appreciated that I hit him up when he was in the hospital and stuff, just to make sure he was doing all right, But he's super enthusiastic. He's really cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. So that in mind, being you guys got in such an active conversation on Florida hip-hop, I'm just curious in your opinion, if you had to choose between Your Mama Smokes Crack Rocks and Daddy's on the Pipe by TKO Posse, which is the preference? Was that on the list? Shit.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I don't know, because that's an amazing question, but my parents don't do drugs, so I wouldn't know.
Those are songs.
Those are songs?
Remember Your Mama on Crack Rock? It's bass shit. It's old school shit.
Yeah.
It's before its time.
Yeah. Shit, I wouldn't know.
Oh yeah, it's like the proto Poison Clan sort of era, right around that.
Shit.
So yeah, just I'm a big regional hip hop sort of guy. So, but no, I liked the JT Money mention on there, when in the Nardwuar interview, and of course because
kids are fans. JT Money kids are fans, but I fuck with JT Money though. I grew up listening to that man.
So between Pimpin' on Wax and Blood, Sweat and Years, the two JT Money solo records, if you had to pick.
Pimpin' on Wax.
Yeah. Was that one of them too? All right, cool. So it's doing all right.
Got one. I got 4 more to go.
Yeah. Cool. So, coming from Florida then, and with Florida having a really unique bit of hip-hop history itself, sometimes some people will categorize it as being part of the Southern hip-hop round, like VH1 did a few years ago with the Dirty South hip-hop, thing that included Florida on that. Others consider it part of that certain East Coast wave because of, certain breaks and certain things that have gotten popular there. So in the time that since you've come up and now that you're performing nationally, have you noticed there have been any sort of preconceived notions about you based on the scene that you're from? Or do you find now that since there's so much access to your music everywhere that it's more so people get you?
I mean, since it's everywhere, I feel like people get me, but if you're oblivious to it, you're just gonna think I just sound like one thing, and that's like the pre-notion that everybody thinks. Everybody thinks I'm angry or yell all the time or super duper lyrical, but really I could do anything I set my mind to, and that's what people fail to realize, and it showed on this record. So that's what I think that people get misconstrued. Excuse me.
Cool. Another great thing about your record, and just your music in general and in your performance, is the emphasis on the visuals. And actually now, because the copy that I've had of your record that was sent to me from Cosign a few months back had all the album art in black and white, so I wasn't aware that there was even the color version that you had at the merch booth. So that in mind, how important is the visuals with what you do? And is it usually you have the music first and then create the visuals with it? Or have you ever seen a visual you want to create and then made the music be the soundtrack to that?
No, I made the music first, and then the visuals just started to come around when I was just thinking about how the cover is going to look and everything else, and just thinking about how it's going to catch people and how the artistic vision is going to provoke people, and that's what I wanted to do, and I feel like it worked.
Yeah, speaking of provocation, there's certain, misconceptions that a lot of people have, especially with a lot of current hip-hop. There's an emphasis on shock with that. But yours always seem really thought out, and especially when you're tackling things that would normally be sacred cows, namely, invoking the Cobain name into the track Clout Cobain, putting out a record like Perks at a time right now. So when you're creating music, and being that there is that certain fearlessness to it, do you ever have a bit of hesitation in the writing process, or do you find that when you feel that you're tapping into these visceral elements not a lot of people will go to that just further, puts coal into your furnace of ambition.
That part.
Cool. That one was on the list, wasn't it? Word for word. Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. So, regarding the visuals again, is there anything that you've been really hoping to do, like exploring the different mediums, like within music videos, and now with so much accessibility on the internet, or any ideas you want to go forward? That was that one of them as well?
No.
Oh, all right.
He's lost already.
All right.
Asking really good questions.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'll admit defeat. I'll admit defeat.
We'll do this again another time. We'll do this every interview.
Like most of my mediums ends up is like I just like creating universes. So the medium that I'm using is just a medium that I've been using for like years. Whether it's like graphics or whether it's like films. I just want them, they're all gonna be like their own little cover to their own little movie, you know? Mm-hmm. Like it's each chapter of my life that's like ill, you feel me?
Yep. So right now, if you type in Denzel in Google, you are currently the number 2 Denzel that comes up in the search options. Was that one of them? No. All right, sweet, cool. So as you continue your ascension, how do you plan to completely dethrone Denzel Washington?
I gotta be a better actor than Denzel Washington. Throwing that nigga. I gotta have my own training day where I'll just like totally like go overboard, but really, or Equalizer and shit. Cause I got a song called Equalizer and he got a movie called Equalizer. So I'm just like, shit. If I could be a better actor than Denzel Washington, shit, I could take out Denzel Washington if I do that.
And then if he then enters hip hop, then it just becomes the 2 lanes.
Yeah, it just becomes like a thing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna answer rapping, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna answer acting and see how I do. Mm-hmm. Just stick with it.
Nice, cool. So this is actually my first time seeing you perform live, and I have to ask, and this one may be one of them. Do you have a particular warm-up ritual before you go on the stage?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't have a warm-up ritual. I just go up there and kill it.
Nice. Cool. So finally, your first mixtape was 2011, if not mistaken. And being like how really prolific you've been and the guest appearances you made on records too, is there any song you're particularly proud of that you wish was more well-known amongst your fans?
This Life.
Yeah? What about it?
It's such a beautiful track. That's one of my favorite tracks off of Imperial. I just wish it would have reached a wider audience or got on the radio or something, but we just didn't have the backing or anything, and I just wish that track itself would have picked up and everybody would have been like, damn, because fans sing it, all my fans sing it, and whoever listens to it, they really gravitate towards it.
All right. Spectacular. Thank you again so much. I heard word from you're feeling like even like a little like under the weather bit this part of the tour, but I overall just really appreciate you doing this, man, and absolutely spectacular tonight. So. Sweet.
Oh, sorry.
Boom. Gotcha.
You got the $10. You got it.
Yeah.
We'll do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do it.